Hello, hello. So, episode 2 of Growing Through Football podcast. We've made it past that inevitable barrier of doing one episode and then not continuing.
Yeah. Diary conflict last week made us made us sort of think. Well, this weekly thing, does it have to be weekly? Yeah, it will be. It's fine. It's the summer holidays, isn't it? So we're 1 week down, aren't we? We're sort of like just chalking it off as we go through. So one
Yeah,
week down.
like a prison wall.
I mean, that's the vibe I was going with. I mean,
Yeah.
I didn't leave anything to the imagination there. But yes, we've scratched off one. 6 weeks to go. Yeah, it's gonna be fine.
It's a really long one this year though, and I don't know how it's happened this way, but seven and a half weeks I think it's worked out to be. And
Yeah.
I think getting straight into it, I think the ultimate question is like, how do you keep your kids entertained? I guess over the summer holidays while football is on a break.
hmm
Um, and I know we've made a few decisions, and we can talk about that. But
Yeah,
yeah,
definitely.
how do we keep them entertained? How do we keep them fit, Tony?
Well, I mean that's a good question to be honest. So far, I've had eldest Jameson, as I texted you the other day, didn't I? We've had eldest Jameson running 5Ks, like not just like as punishment. Like he's really into his running anyway. And we usually do junior park run for him on a Sunday morning, obviously outside of football season. So he enjoyed going and doing park run, and he's done a couple of the adult park runs as well to do 5K. So he likes that. And obviously now there's no football on Sunday. He went to junior park run a couple of weeks ago. This week, Monday gone, he went out for a bit of a run. Me and him went around the doors, and we did about 3K around the doors. And then yesterday, he actually went for his longest run he's ever done, and he did 6K yesterday. So like, well done, Elders Jameson. That was very very impressive indeed.
That's really good. I don't think I can compete with that. We have done no running.
Mm,
um,
yeah,
it's a difficult one over the summer, but they stay active. My kids stay active in different ways. Like they like, my son will like to play football in the garden, or he'll go to his grandparents. Quite like to take him out for the day, and he, I guess, what do they call it? Like it's like non exercise something or other.
yeah. It's when you sort
Needs
of
exercise or something.
Yeah,
Um,
so it's when you sort of they don't realize that they're doing exercise, but they're doing it through play, aren't they? Like so, like
exactly.
our kids both love. They go to the trampoline park. They love that as well. Like they'll be there for like 3 hours. That's like them having the best time of their lives.
Mm.
What we did was we bought my eldest for his birthday. His birthday is middle of July. We bought him a fitness watch. We bought him like a little like child's Garmin.
Mm.
So he's now like really obsessed with his steps. Just in terms of like his curiosity of like, so how many steps am I doing? So I think at one point, I think he racked up 30,000 steps one day, and I was just like, "How? Like, are you cheating? Like, there's no way that you 30,000 steps." But then it's made me really conscious of how much I'm not doing.
Yeah.
It was then that thing of like going, "Look, me and you'll get out. We'll do some bits and pieces. We'll keep active over the summer." I've had a bit of an injury, so I'm starting to rehab in as well. Yeah, just keeping him doing something is the thing. Like, he loves playing football in the garden, like similar to your boy as well. Let's say the trampoline park's great, going on the beach is fantastic. But I think what we found is like he's at that moment now. Like this year, he's just found football properly. Like last year, he was just like, yeah, football's all right. I can take it or leave it. This year, he is like on the football train now. Like he wants to play football all the time. He does the whole like, Daddy, do you want to come out and play in the garden with me? And I'm like, I'd love to. I'd love to. I'm about to jump in a meeting right now, but give me half an hour and I'll come back in the garden with you. So
Yeah.
we're at that stage at the moment. So it's like he's desperate to keep playing. And obviously the conversation we had was, well, what happens over the summer with clubs? Like, do they keep going? Do they have a bit of rest? Like, what's the best thing for the coaches? What's the best thing for the players, the parents? You know, that's sort of what we're going to try and chat about today and work out. Well, not really work out. We haven't got an answer really. We can tell you what we've decided to do, but that's sort of as we're learning on the job sort of thing.
Yeah. It is a difficult one because it's a massive conundrum for parents. It's like that, and there is a pressure, I think, a social pressure to keep doing things with your kids. You know, keep them out. You know, obviously parents, we have dual income households are the majority now, where you know one of us needs to be working. You know, or both of us need to be working. Grandparents step in. Uncles and aunties step in if you're lucky enough that your child is old enough that they can sort of take care of themselves a little bit throughout the day, then that's good. But from a football perspective, I think what we've decided to do, isn't it, is that we've put together a casual session each week, alongside there is a main training session which will happen on a Thursday night, I believe. But we've decided to take an extra step and have a team night or a team session just for an hour, which is a casual football, you know, a casual kickabout. So, and the thought, the thinking behind it was mainly, well, who doesn't love to just go down to the field with their mates and have a kickabout? And you know, we'll get on to the coach's sort of perspective, but if we perform some radical empathy and put ourselves into the shoes of our kids and see it through 8-9-year-olds' eyes, we want to be doing something. We want to be, you know, we get excited, don't we, about going down to the field with our mates and having a kickabout. And that was kind of the main rationale behind it, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Because there was a conversation about moving our regular Saturday training to allow parents to go away on holidays and stuff and give people a bit of time off, the kids as well. But then it was moving to a Thursday, so they weren't actually getting the time off really. They were just moving the day. So it was like, right, okay, that's fine, we can do that. And because we're in the development side, we're development squad. We spoke about, look, you know, our players really, like, when you're in this. So our team. Our club all train together. We've got teams within our club structure. We've got a Division 4 and 2 Division 6s play together. So there's moments when those Division 4 players are up against Division 6 players. What are they? They could ask, you know, sometimes there'll be a case of like, what are they getting out of that? What are the Division 6 players getting out of Division 4 players? They're not getting as much time on the ball. So that it's not a sort of like, you know, are they getting the right games every single Saturday? So we said ourselves, well, look, we'll move Saturday to Thursday as a club, and then you and I sat down and said, shall we just do another day where we've got our Division 6 side just playing football, like just kicking a ball around, as you say, with their mates, get that lovely sort of like 5 or 6 o'clock in the evening. Everyone just like, they've been at whatever they've been doing. They've been at childcare, they've been out and about for the day, they've been at the beach, they've been in and around their parents' feet. Right, get your football kit on, down to the field, get a ball out, come on. And all we're doing is football. It's not drills. Mm-hmm. It's not practicing set plays. It's just, have we got enough for a game? And we'll do 10-minute games, we'll switch teams, 10-minute games, switch teams, and just like have them playing football. That's the thinking behind it.
That's the most important thing as well, because I think if you're looking at the general ethos of not just our club, but grassroots football as a whole, is that we need to keep it fun. We need to keep it fun. We need to keep it developmental as well. So we need to have an element of progress that's being made with the kids. But keeping it casual just takes that pressure off, I think, mentally. So it's not a training session. It's not a match. It's getting down with your mates. But the mates that are on your team, and you're spending more time, because obviously we went through a bit of a shake-up, and I think we might have spoken about this in the last episode, but you know, we went through a bit of a team, a team shake-up, and put different people with other people so that they can experience playing together in preparation for when they do go to sevens, because it's currently still 5-a-side. So by keeping it casual, they're actually figuring each other out a little bit, and they don't necessarily always spend time with each other outside of school. And so most of our players, I don't think, all go to the same school. So we've got, I think, about 3 different schools all coming together. And there's something quite nice about that as well, because they've got friends outside of school that is just through football. Because obviously your son and my son don't go to the same school, so immediately there's two there. And the girl that's on our team as well, she goes to a different school, so we've got three schools that are all mingling, and it's great for their social skills, because that's really important, that like they're not just stuck in a bit of a sort of microcosm of the whole world. And it's like my whole world revolves around school and school friends, and football is only school friends too. So it just broadens their horizons a little bit as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, it's one of the things that I enjoyed about my own grassroots journey when I was a kid. Like, I didn't play. I started off playing like for sort of a team that was in my village, but when I got to 10-year-old, 11-year-old, like I branched out and I started playing for like teams in like County Durham. So about a sort of 10-15 minute drive from where I lived, I was going out playing in the same league, but I was in a different side. And that was just like, so I was mixing with kids from another community, like kids from other backgrounds and stuff. And again, it was that thing, as you say, you've got an extra social circle of people that you would play alongside and stuff. And parents would obviously have a social circle. And even now, like, what we're talking 30 odd years later, the CrossFit gym that I go to, and people who program for me, is from that town. Like, I've got no other connection to that town, but I go back there and I go, right, you know what, like that's where my CrossFit gym is. It's like, it's not easy for me to get to when I go back up north to see family, but I'll always make sure I call in, because that's where I grew up. Essentially, that's what I think sport is that town there, that little village there. So that's really, really nice. And yeah, seeing sort of like my son come through, his mate come through, is obviously a new player as well. Like, we don't go to the same school as everyone else. We're not even in the same village. Like, we don't even live in the same village. Like, so again, we're coming into a new community and being welcomed with open arms. And that's been really great for us to see. And yeah, just if anything, what it's done is it's already got our kids queued up for when they move to secondary school, because that's going to be mixture of communities, mixture of people they don't know. Like, how quickly can you adapt to change? And I think we've spoken about this even on episode 1, about like the lessons that you learn through football, things like resilience, things like change. Everyone's got to, change happens throughout life. You've got to be okay with it. It's a matter of how you deal with it and how you process that. And when we mixed the teams up at the back end of last season, we've now got that situation where, see this as an opportunity to build new relationships where there weren't relationships already. 100%. And that's obviously what we're hoping for those Tuesday sessions to be a case of, right, you might not know these players as well as you knew other players in your team, but hey, you learned how to know them, you can learn how to know these people now as well.
Exactly. I mean, I don't mind saying this as well, like about my son, but obviously the age that he was quite young when COVID was around and we were locked down. And I do think kids of that particular sort of year group, and a couple around it as well, I would expect, there's a lot of anxiety. And I know we had our fair share of that with him, because I mean our daughter is completely different. So and I don't think that's I don't think that's a coincidence. But what happened in that sort of COVID time was there was a lot of negative talk. There was a lot of, a lockdown, seeing the same members of your family all the time and this, that, and you didn't have much mixture with the outside world. And, it sounds pretty sort of disastrous saying that, but, and again, I'm not saying it's a coincidence. It's no coincidence to me that since he's been out playing football more, like that, those anxiety levels have completely gone down. He's better at school. He mixes with new people easier. He's more outgoing. He speaks to strangers, like people that I know that he doesn't necessarily know. And if they ask him, "How you doing, buddy?" he responds, and he's quite comfortable being around other people. And I think that's been through football, and I think that's through any team sport, where you're mixing with other kids. So I think that's the biggest thing for me that I've seen through my son and through football is, yeah, just the drop in anxiety levels, the drop in overthinking, and sort of disaster thinking as well. And so it's been really, really nice to see. And I think football has played a huge part of that. So there's definitely the social things. There's like the internal sort of monologues of kids as well with football that happens. What about the parents? Like over summer, like how can parents? I mean, obviously, what we've done is probably, by putting on an extra session, parents are probably quite appreciative of that. And I know we've been getting some feedback, which has been going, "Oh, really good idea. We can't make all of them, but we'll be there for most of them," and this, that, and the other. And it's just an additional hour, just an additional thing to do. But what about the parents? Like, are they? How can, if they don't have these additional sessions, what can they be doing, do we think? And yeah, just from your point of view, Tone.
$1 billion question, isn't it? I guess really. I mean,
Yeah.
so really, like, to answer that question, it requires so many different alternatives as to what's available and what the parents are doing. Like, are they physically able to get out and about and kick a ball about on the field? Like, do they live close to a field? Like, are they physically able to play football with the kids? Is it what's their work situation like? What's the childcare situation like? Like, is it a case of the kids have to go to childcare provision throughout the whole day? Parents maybe work during the day, as you say. Grandparents might be looking after them. Are they in a position where they can do that? The kids are at an age now, and it's the best age. It's the best age. Like, they're just full of the joys of life. They just want to get up. They want to just play. They want to be. They want to experience. They want to explore. I thought I was tired before. I'm not. I've now got this age of child to deal with now, and this is certainly more tiring than the sleepless nights, because you've got to have the energy to keep up now. Like, so there's an element of activeness and, like, sort of general fitness that you need to have as a parent to keep up with the excitement levels of the kids. I think we talk about the idea that the kids are going out and playing football when it's nice and it's sunny and that's beautiful, and that's obviously the ideal. But we live in Britain, and it's the summer, and it's not always sunshine. It's usually rain. So the question at that point then is, what happens when we've got these sessions in, and they're going like, "Oh, the kids have been trapped indoors all day because they're going like, we can't go out and about." It costs you 40 quid just leaving the house to do anything these days. Like, the kids are all cooped up. They want to release. They want to get rid of some energy and expunge that. I think having just a look, bring them down the field for an hour. We'll tire them out, right? And that is a good thing. I think it's a good thing, a good option to have. And it's not childcare, it's not support, but we get it. Like, we get it because we're parents as well, of course. And what I really like about it is it's keeping the players connected. Like, because 6 weeks, 7 weeks, that's like a lifetime to those kids. Like,
Gotcha.
They see each other at the end of the season, and then they leave, right? And then they come back in 6 weeks' time, and you're like going, right, what's happened in that 6 weeks? There's always one kid comes in with a broken arm. One kid's come back with a mustache. It's like, hang on, what's going on here, right? Like,
Bit early for that, yeah.
At least if they're connected throughout the course of that 6 weeks, the change isn't as much, and it's not so noticeable. And I think that's what brings the team together a little bit more, is that connection. And yes, okay, not everyone's going to make every single session. We won't even make every single session. We know that because we've got holidays booked as well and commitments as well. But by just offering it, it keeps them connected, because, going back to your point before, these are children that lived through isolation. Like, they are, and I think they're acutely aware of that when their routine changes, they are a bit more like, oh, hang on, are we going back to when the routine changed a lot? Because I don't really fancy that. Oh, it's okay, it's just for a week. That's fine. No, right, cool. We're going from Saturdays to Thursday. I can deal with that. No problem. Yeah. And I think that just keeping that flow and that regularity and that contact, I hope that's going to be a benefit for them.
I definitely agree with that, and I think that's a really good point, because my immediate thought was, when my wife went on maternity leave. You know, because when she was on maternity leave, there were barely any sort of like stay in touch days. And the rate of change in the workplace is probably far more dramatic than, you know, the rate of change with children's football. But I think time does go faster as a child. Like, you don't feel it in the moment, but time for a child does go faster. From a perception point of view. I mean, God knows, it feels like yesterday I was 14 and now I'm 30 odd. Like, it's just mental. So, you know, life happens really quickly. And just thinking about like the stay in touch, that actually staying in touch and just feeling connected is, whether it's football or anything, is like really, really important. And you don't want your child to feel loneliness. You don't want your child, even if they've got siblings, you can still feel lonely as a child if there's like an age difference and you can't quite play the same. Being amongst peers and, you know, like, you know, teammates that are of a similar age, actually, it's not just connection, it's connection with people that are similar to you. And, you know, our kids are like, you know, 8, 9, and it's like, actually they're going through a big change themselves, actually, to be honest, like from a hormone point of view, from, you know, I don't know about yours, but massive growth spurt, wants to eat everything. And it's, you know, they do need that, you know, that expense of energy, but they also need that expense of social connection too, and staying in touch. And I mean, I remember how it was at school, actually, just staying on this point for a sec. Like, you'd coming back to school after 6 weeks holidays and seeing people you literally have not seen for 6 weeks. You're almost getting to know them again. And you know, and we do this as adults as well, where we don't stay in touch. And every time we catch up, that's what it is. We're catching up. We're never in the moment with them. You know, where you already know everything, and now we're talking about stuff that matters. Like, rather than going, what have you been up to for the last like 3 months? And it's just like, you know, and for kids, that's still the same. I think the principle is still the same with kids. It's like, they don't want to be catching up all the time. It's like they want to be in the moment with them and have connection in that moment, doing something fun.
Yeah, definitely. And they like structure. Like, they like knowing where they are.
I mean, we like structure, Tony. Let's be honest about this. We like structure.
I think I like the idea of structure, but I'm also I'm pretty good at being loose, right? But I do ultimately, I like a structure. I like someone else to sort the structure out.
Well, that's what I meant. Yeah.
Like, I know, like the kid, like my kids, I know for a fact love knowing where they are, what they're doing, and when. And like our school, and I don't know whether your school does the same or not, but before the end of term, they do like a transition day. So like when they know they're going to the next class next year, they get their new teacher. They spend like 2 days or a week or something in that class, upstairs or wherever it is, in a different room. Like, I don't remember doing that when I was a kid, but what a great idea. Like, to sort of go like, look, next year is going to be different. This is what different now looks like, you know? And so when you do come in and you already know who your new classmates are, there's going to be an air of familiarity. You're not going to have to learn on the day, going like, oh, hang on, where's my pals? Like, where are they all gone?
Yeah.
And I think, like, for us, keeping that connection throughout the summer is really, really useful for the kids. It's just a little bit of like of constant, a little bit of like, okay, this is normal. For the parents, I think it's a really nice thing for the parents to keep in contact, to sort of again have a check-in, going, look, how are you getting on? Like, how are you finding the summer? How are you feeling the holidays? Like, anything sort of like going well, anything you're struggling with, a good little place for the parents to connect and touch base and get support there as well. And I think also from us as a club and from a coaching staff, like, being connected throughout the summer, if anything changes, like circumstances change, like, you know, family dynamics, you know, like relatives, you know, passing on or whatever, it doesn't come as a shock to us in September, so that we're then forearmed with like how to deal with these children when they come back in September. You know, you don't want to say something inadvertently that's going to send a child off to spiral, because, and you've said it completely innocuously, because you've not you know, no one's told you anything. Whereas if you're connected to the event, then there's that opportunity to be closer to it, to then say, look, okay, look, I can either offer a bit more support, we can help if needs be, or we know we can rein it back in and go, look, we need to give you some space and just come to us when you're ready. And that, I think, is really, really useful from us as both as a club and as a coaching staff as well.
Again, that is a really good point. You know, we've had instances like that over the previous season where, you know, and it's a part of life, you know, where family members die, mum and dad split up, you know, there's other sort of like family changes that take place, and even personal changes that take place with the child. And the closer that we can be to those events, you know, without actually being intrusive, is really important. So I think, yeah, you're right in what you're saying, that sort of contact time and that proximity to the child while they're going through those events is paramount. You know, it's so important. Because I mean, we've had instances like that where we've needed to keep an eye on kids to make sure that they don't spiral, or that they're not taking it out on their teammates, or even taking it out on us coaches. And I think that's probably quite a nice segue into actually talking about coaches and parents, and like coaches specifically, like us two with our team. You know, I'm sure after this season we could have done with a proper break. You know, because we're still working as well. Like we have our businesses and our jobs, and you know, we need time to focus on those things over the summer as well, because money needs to come in so we can pay for all these great things. But we've opted not to take that full break, and I think it's mainly for those reasons. But from our point of view, why are we continuing, other than proximity to the child, so that we're not catching up all the time? But like, what else was part of our consideration to keep these sessions going, not just the main training session?
I mean, for me, it's because I can't switch off. That's part of the reason that, like, literally, if I'm in something, I'm in it. Like, and there's just no deviation with it. Like, I throw myself 100% into things. So there's a little bit of that. But I think it was that thing of going, like, look, I got into this to help develop young people, you know, and I don't think I'm speaking out of turn. I don't think we have potential Premier League footballers in our team, but I think we have potential really great human beings in our team, and I want to just tap into that and make them really great human beings. Like, and if they get a little bit better at football while we're doing it, then that's the thing. Like, that's what we want to be doing, okay? So I want to spend my time, as far as I was aware, when I signed up to coach, that's what I thought the mandate was. Like, I was under the impression, probably because I didn't ask the question, but I was under the impression that, look, I'm here and I'm available, you know, and if other people need time off, great, because there will be a time when I need a bit of time off to go on holiday as well. Mm-hmm. Between us, we'll work it out. Like, I hadn't considered that there was a potential we all go away for summer and we come back.
Yeah, well, I mean that is the mandate, by the way. That is the mandate. Like, just so we're confirming it for those listening. But you know, it's definitely part of the club ethos that we're involved with. You know, it is about the child. It's about their development. You're right in what you're saying. Like, the statistics are harrowing, actually, in terms of, you know, I think it's like less than I think it's like 0.1% or something of all kids that even continue playing football through to sort of like 12, 13, 14 years old. That percentage of them will make it to some kind of professional football. And if we're thinking about what professional actually means, you know, near where we're based, you know, we've got like Selby Town, Pickering Town, Tadcaster Albion, semi-pro teams, you know, and that standard is unreal. And then obviously our local team, York City, into the EFL again, and that standard's going to go up as well. And if you think about what it takes to just make it to that level, then yeah, I mean, the likelihood is, and that's our job as well, is to almost be realistic with the kids and the parents, you know, because your kid is more than likely not the next Messi.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not out of turn saying that either, I don't think. And I think there needs to be a level of realization with parents about that. But at the same time, you know, it's while we need to encourage the children to go on and do their very best. But the first priority is making sure that they are well-rounded, decent humans that can interact and assimilate into society, and be decent to one another. So yeah, I think that kind of covers most bases as to why we're continuing over the summer. But I'm similar to you in terms of not taking a break. Like, well, what else would I be doing? I enjoy this. I enjoy this.
We're on the grass anyway, so
yeah. I enjoy playing football with my son. I have to limit the time because of energy and things like that. But it's what else would you be doing? You know, what is more fun than that? You know, taking an hour off work, or an hour into your evening during the summer holidays is not that much time. And if the kids are getting an experience out of it and they're enjoying it, and it keeps them fresh for the season ahead, why not? Why not?
Yeah, and I think there's always that discussion, isn't there, of like, kids these days, you know, the generation of children these days, they're always on bloody screens. All right, well, let's take them out for an hour and play sport then. Like, if we can do that, why would we not? You know, so like if you have the option, because I think, again, to pull the curtain back a little bit, this whole idea of an extra training session literally came about from you and I texting, and one of the other parents texting going, see, when it's the summer holidays, do you reckon we could all like work out a time to go to the field and play football? And then that was a way of us finding a little bit of childcare time amongst ourselves. And then it was just like, well, actually, there's already 4 kids at this point. We only really need another 4. We've got a game on our hands. Should we open it up to the rest of the team? Like, do you reckon that would be a thing? And then, again, very informal. You know, I mean, my youngest is going to pop down at some point if we need to make the numbers up as well, just to keep him involved, because
he doesn't act like it
started. Though. Sorry?
He doesn't act like the younger one, though, does he?
No, he doesn't act like the younger one at all. No, absolutely not. He'll keep ours on their toes, I think, because his team, actually, he's the under 7s, and they are having a summer off, and with a change of format as well. So he's going to come in trying to learn 3v3 next year, which is like that's going to change his mindset completely. Thankfully, he's not played football up until this point, so it's going to be brand new for him completely. He's not going to unlearn something. But again, it's just a way of keeping him and his energy focused. I think a conversation I had with one of the parents that we know from outside of football as well was saying about, like, you know, like, do the kids get burnt out at the end of the season? Like, probably not. They're not like professional footballers who have played through like a really grueling Premier League and Champions League season, and then they've got the World Cup added to all the travel and the, you know, highly tuned nutrition and recovery programs they've got to go through. These kids are 8 years old. Like, they will be playing football regardless. So we might as well be there to watch and to help. Will it have a detrimental effect come the end of the season? Possibly. It might mean that we concede a goal we weren't going to really concede, but I think that it's actually going to be of benefit, because they're going to be even 6 weeks more game ready, and game awareness and spatial awareness and team awareness. They'll just be 6 weeks better as a team, I think.
I just don't think I think the whole thing is a net positive. Like, it's a net positive experience. It's a net positive outcome for the kids, like, and for us as coaches as well. But for all the reasons that we've sort of rallied off, really, like, you know, staying in contact, fitness. You just mentioned something there as well about nutrition, about, you know, grueling nutrition. I think nutrition is really important for kids as well throughout the summer holidays. Like, we've just come from a week away, and, you know, there was an all-inclusive buffet, and it's like, the kids, especially my eldest who plays in the team, he went mental. He went mad. Like, he loves it. And we had to kind of like go, look, you know, you got to curb it. Like, you know, strawberry sauce and sprinkles for breakfast is probably not ideal. And that's a true story, not an exaggeration. You know, but, you know, going back and getting a couple of plates of, you know, bacon and eggs, and then coming back with a pancake and some fruit. And then, you know, if you want to add some like strawberry mousse onto that, then go ahead, you know, have your treat. You're on holiday. But I think for a lot of kids, and again, cost of living comes into play, you know, the affordability of good, nutritious food is obviously on our minds. But I guess from your point, Tony, like, I obviously have my opinions, but what can parents and kids be doing and eat? You know, like, we're not here to tell people how to eat, but I think these are formative years for kids where habits are formed.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, and it's
definitely.
for you, like, what have you got your kids eating?
So I think it's worth pointing out that we're going to have an actual episode on
Yes, we are,
nutrition
yeah.
as well, because it's, again, believe it or not, we are not qualified nutritionists, so let's just signpost that right now. We're also got an upcoming episode about strength and conditioning. We are not qualified strength and conditioning coaches, but I know someone who is, and they would definitely suggest that it's a good idea for our kids to be doing that in order to aid their football and their development, as alongside the nutrition. For me personally, my kids, I'm super fortunate. Super fortunate. My kids will eat pretty much anything, and will at least try pretty much anything. I know, again, some parents have a real struggle with kids with food, whether it's texture, whether it's flavour, whether it's the sensory idea, just the look of it sometimes. Going, oh, I don't like that. They've already convinced themselves they haven't. My kids are really, really good in that they will try. They love vegetables. They love fruit. They cost me a fortune in fruit, but they love fruit. So I think our like eldest Jameson, he makes his own overnight oats for his breakfast. That's like,
Wow.
literally, like, I showed him how to make it, and he has that. So he has overnight oats for breakfast. I mean, he has two breakfasts, but he has overnight oats and Pokemon cereal. But, you know, let him have a bit of Pokemon cereal as well, because that's fun, right? Because he's a child. Let him have fun. And we'll make him some chocolate overnight oats. So he has essentially a double chocolate breakfast. But hey, the second one's got a bit of nutrition in there. And I've shown him how to make it, so he makes it himself, and he does all that, so he understands it. I think that's the main thing, is getting them involved in the process. Like, things like, it's so easy to just make like a quick tuna wrap or chicken wrap or something, or a ham wrap, like, or vegetable wrap for lunch. Do you know what I mean? Like some cucumber sticks, little bits of tomato, some peppers, little block of cheese or whatever, and then have like your fun things, like a pepperami is like decent protein. Like a baby bell is not too bad. Stick an apple in there, a banana, and you're away. Little bags of, well, like the fridge raiders are fine, but they also do like little chicken satay skewers. Again, this is all great. Jameson loves boiled eggs, so he walks around claiming he eats protein eggs. I was like, fine, you can have a couple of protein eggs. Well, one egg. You're not having more than that. And then in the evening, we just let them have whatever they want. Like, they love pasta, they love chicken, they love steak, they love ramen. But then do you know what? They also eat McDonald's. They also eat fish and chips. They also eat burgers. Like, they also eat pizza. We don't demonize anything, but we also do the whole, like, sometimes food and all the time food. And even one of our players, speaking to his parents, we were at a barbecue, and his parents were saying, like, you know, that the young kid, he'd never eaten a burger before. And I was just sat there, and I was like, are you going to try this burger? And he's like, oh, yeah. Finally, he tried it. I was like, oh, so is that good for me? I was like, well, yeah, you can have that, and you can have a bit of the chicken over there. And he's like, oh, I'll have a bit of that as well then. And then I got a message a couple of days later going, oh, yeah, so he wanted fruit, and he wanted yogurt for his breakfast, and I was like, great, like, he's in. It's just about opening their eyes, isn't it?
I think you've touched on something which I think would probably be really good as a future episode anyway, is like the idea of influence. You know, the influence that we have, weirdly, as coaches. You know, we are in a trusted position. And I know with that child you're talking about, I was talking to his parents yesterday about it. I was just like, I don't want to sound really egotistical, but does he think a lot of what I think? And they were like, oh yeah, he's always second guessing, like, what will Coach Paul think about this? And I guess there's probably pros and cons to that, but it's good that they're thinking that there's a, not necessarily jeopardy, but like there's a second opinion about, I guess it's like, what I'm trying to sort of put across is that parents can use us, in support of what they're trying to achieve with their child playing football. So if there are additional skills, like, and this is why I brought up nutrition, because sometimes they won't listen to their own parents, but they will listen to an outside source. And if we can be of, a positive effect on them trying new foods, like you've done with said child as well, and just trying to go, oh, that's probably not great behavior, mate. Maybe we should try speaking this way or what. And if they can take that back into the home, that's great. And we've had we've had a positive effect on that child, and I think nutrition just rolls up in that. If we can help them with better eating habits and go, look, if you want more energy, maybe think about a bit more of a carby breakfast before you come to football, or they might not even know what a carb is. Yeah, so we just have to put that into their terms.
And it's just like, I think it's being aware of what you can have and what you can do. Like, so for us, like let's say we'll do like overnight oats for breakfast, because the kids used to eat porridge when they were like babies and children anyway. Like, so for them that's not out of the ordinary. Like, they love porridge oats, which of course, slow releasing carbs, really really good for when you're playing football, early morning sessions. But then if they're playing later on the day, I'll give them a Rice Krispie bar. Those Rice Krispie bars with the marshmallows in? Like, they are the best. Like, I use them on like long distance runs. They are the best carb hack like in the world. Like, less calories than you'd expect. There's nothing else in them other than carbs, and they just keep the kids going. Right, a little bit of sugar in there as well, possibly. A couple of jelly babies mid-match, just bang, a couple of jelly babies in there. Away you go. Like a jam sandwich. If you're struggling after school, and you've got a training session in the evening, if you've got time to just make your kids a quick jam sandwich, that will fuel them through it. Bit of toast, bit of honey in the morning. Like, doesn't have to be complex. Doesn't have to be like, these like sort of multiple, like all your macros and nutrients all counted out, and it doesn't have to be like that. And I think, we live in a world where social media would tell us that's what life has to be like. But there are so many. I'll get the link. There's a guy that I follow on TikTok. He's a Scottish guy called Ewan, and he just does kids football nutrition, and it is stuff like that, just jam and bread, jelly babies, a little bit of chocolate milk for after. Have a bottle of chocolate milk afterwards for your bones and for your muscle regrowth, and stuff that you would never have heard about years ago, but it's all fine.
Amazing. Well, we're kind of coming to the end, but I think hopefully, I mean, we're like we say, at the time of recording, we're in week 2 of the summer holidays, and we'll be recording again probably in a couple of weeks. So again, we'll check in on how our sanity is doing anyway. But hopefully, there's some nuggets of information there, and I think that more importantly, it's just getting our opinion or what a bit of insight into what we're doing with our kids. And we're not the exception. We're not we're not doing anything out of the norm. We're just normal parents as well, but just trying to get through the holidays, make it work, make it enjoyable, because you don't get many of these, and time is, as I saw, is a bit of an undercurrent theme of this one really, but we don't get this time back. So we need to enjoy it and make the most of it, and whatever energy we don't think we've got, it's like, we've only got this time. So I'm sure a lot of parents out there are probably wondering what to do with their kids. So hopefully this can enlighten a little bit and give them a little bit of some insight as well.
Yeah, definitely. And if you've got any ideas for things that you do with your kids during the summer holidays, and you want to share it with the like-minded individuals, then pop it in the comments below, because again, we'd be really, really interested to see what people are doing and what people are eating, how's their pre-season going, I suppose, want a better phrase, and let us know as well what your club's doing. Like, are you having a bit of a break? Are you keeping going through the summer as well? Because just for our own general interest more than anything, really. And again, anything else you want us to cover as the series goes on, then again, let us know in the comments.
Fantastic. Tony, been a pleasure again.
Pleasure as always, mate. Right, should we go and enjoy the rest of week 2, shall we?
Exactly. I love it. Yeah.
Love it.
Great stuff. Take care of yourself, buddy.
All right. Take it easy. All the best. Bye
Cheers.
now.